Okay, so this video was meant to be out 2 hours ago, 3 nearly, and I'm only just recording it. I was a little late. Basically, I've got a quick video, 10 players to watch in the Premier League. These are all quite different. They're players that I'm intrigued to see at a new club. Maybe they need to extend their form, or players that I'm kind of betting on to have a good season. Just getting straight into it. Number 10, and the only Spurs player on here. I could have put a few. I did consider Pape Sarr because I think he can have a much better year. But the one I've gone for is Luka Vuskovic, I think is how you say his name. It's probably not, but yeah, we'll just go with that anyway. Basically, he's a 16-year-old, or he might be 17 now, who was on loan last year. And I believe he scored like 7 goals as a centre-back and like 2 bicycle kicks. He's a very strange player. He played in pre-season against Reading, I believe it was. And this 17-year-old scored. He scored 1 goal and got an assist as well. So, seems to be an interesting centre-back. Yeah, potentially exciting. Don't think he'll play many games, but for the Carabao Cup games and maybe the odd FA Cup, I could see him being in the Spurs team. And I think it'll be interesting to see how he does. And I believe he's a player to watch. 9. Now, I actually had this one before he moved to Nottingham Forest, but it is James McAtee. And that's because I think he's a really good player. We were actually linked with him, we being Spurs. And I would have liked that signing because I think he has a lot of potential. And it wouldn't surprise me if he displaced Foden. Saying that, what am I on about? It wouldn't have surprised me if he displaced Foden before moving to Nottingham Forest. I'm not sure where he will play because he's a number 10 and Morgan Gibbs-White obviously plays in that position. So I'm intrigued on that one. But he's more of my kind of bet to impress people this season. 8, this is a weird one because I don't know how good he is and kind of makes it a good player to watch. And that's Simon Adingra. And a player that I believe a few years ago had quite a few goals. I think he went on a run of scoring quite a few. But last year had an off year, didn't play very well, and kind of became a little disappointing in his final third play, I thought. I still think he has a lot of potential though, and I think he's at the perfect club to do that. He's at Sunderland now, so a newly promoted club, and it will give him a really good chance to prove himself that he is a Premier League player because he wouldn't have played enough for Brighton. I think it's a really good move for him, and I think he'll do quite well. But I'm not sure. Really a year to see if he's a good enough Premier League player or not. Number 7 is Strand Larsen, and I was so impressed with him last year, and I want to see mainly can he keep the form up. Now he actually scored 14 goals in 35 Premier League starts for Wolves, by the way, which is rather impressive, and I believe most of them came at the end of the season as well, or the second half at least. Him and Cunha really carried Wolves, and they would be relegated without both of them probably. Well, definitely. There is no Cunha to help him though this year, and Cunha was so good at getting Wolves from a defensive position to an attacking position, which obviously means Strand Larsen has a better chance of scoring, and he's a poacher as well. He's a really good finisher, scored some great goals last year. I'm intrigued to see if he can carry that on and take his career to the next step. If he can get 15 to, even if he gets 10 goals again next year, I think that's a good year for him. I'm intrigued to see if he can do that. Number 6 is Kelleher. Now I am interested in this one because he's been the backup keeper for Liverpool for a few years, and he's made a case, him and Ortega, for the best backup keeper in the Premier League. Been known as too good, basically, to be a backup keeper, and he's finally got that move now with Mamardashvili coming in at Liverpool. So I'm interested to see if Kelleher at Brentford can step up. I also believe Mark Flecken was probably the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League, so I do believe this is a massive step up for Kelleher, for Brentford, and I do think Kelleher will do well, but it's going to be interesting to see how good is he actually, because none of us actually know, do we? Number 5 is Ryan Aït-Nouri, and this is a player that I've liked for many years. I cannot believe someone like Man United, who have played wing-backs in the last few years, wanted attacking full-backs. They've had Luke Shaw for ages. I know they have Dorgu now, but I thought Aït-Nouri was perfect for them, especially in this Amram system as well. So the fact that Man City got him is a great signing, because he's kind of more than a left back. I mean, his dribbling, his touch, he can take players on. The only weakness I believe he has is finishing, which sounds stupid for me to say because he's a left back. But at Wolves, he found himself many times one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and a lot of times he would just kick it straight at the goalkeeper, which was quite frustrating. But he's got an eye for an assist. He's a good crosser. He's very attacking. He is a very good attacking player. Just that finishing lacks a little bit, which is expected from a left back. But I anticipate him to make Man City very strong, and I do think he will displace Gvardiol. Definitely makes Man City stronger, and one of the signings of the summer, in my opinion. 4. The man in the thumbnail. Another Man City player. I could have said a few, to be honest. Ryan Cherki. Is that how you say it? We know this guy has loads of talent. We've heard in the past very bad things, haven't we, about his attitude, maybe his effort. I'm not sure. There's got to be a reason why he's not kind of cemented himself as a world-class player yet, because he clearly has that talent. When you see the training videos and stuff of him, he's a joke. Even games, you see moments. I'm going to make a prediction that I don't anticipate this move to go as well as people might think. I know it was cheap, but there's still a lot of expectation on the actual player, and I don't think he will consistently, which is what you have to do to win a Premier League, I don't think he will be consistent enough to take Man City to a title winning side. Also, he's kind of replacing Kevin De Bruyne, and I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is just quality and quantity, isn't he? You know, it's just amazing brilliance through an entire season. I think Cherki has the brilliance, just not for an entire season, but I'm excited to see him. Number 3, and one of the reasons why Arsenal will, in my opinion, win the Premier League, is Zubimendi. I think the signing changes everything. And, you know, when I seen the signing being made, was it in January? I was just a bit, because I feel like this is what they've been missing. Declan Rice and Rodri often get compared, but Rodri is just that level above Rice for me. And, well, I think most people get it now, that Rodri is above Rice just because of how he can handle the ball, how he can, little layoffs, just accept the ball on the half turn. He's just amazing on the ball. And the problem is, when you have Zubimendi and Rice together, is you kind of have a combined Rodri, which is scary. Everyone's been saying that Liverpool will win the league. The Premier League table doesn't mean who makes the most transfers wins the league, right? Arsenal had gaps. The 2 gaps for me were the striker and the DM position. They filled them both with players that look very high quality, and Zubimendi looks a player. And he's also a Euros winner. You know, he came on in the final and did very well against England. So, yeah, I don't like the signing because I'm a Spurs fan, and I do believe this signing makes Arsenal Premier League champions, unfortunately. Number 2 is Victor Gyökeres, the other Arsenal signing, and I think he's just very good. There was a goal he scored against someone. I'm going to have to find it. Lille. It was against Lille. Takes it. It was very Harry Kane vs Fulham-esque. It was just a perfect striker's goal. Gets it, edge of the box-ish, has to come back. His back's now facing the goal. Takes a touch to his right and swings it into the bottom corner. Wonderful goal. True striker's finish. Arsenal now have that quality, and he's a guy that scored like 50 goals a season. And it's scary. And I don't think Arsenal needed an incredible striker to win the league. but he looks good enough anyway, to say the least. And yeah, I think he'll do really well, especially with Saka. Martinelli has to do better, but I think Arsenal will probably sign a left wing in January anyway. But with Saka and Gyökeres, you're looking at one of the scariest partnerships in the Premier League, and I think they'll thrive with Zubimendi as well. Oh, for fuck's sake, Arsenal are going to be good. My number one player to watch is Liam Delap, because he's just very Chelsea-coded to me. It's given me shades of Diego Costa. He's a bit of a bully. He's not the cleanest footballer in the world, but he's a very clean sort of striker of the ball. He manages to score goals and get incredible power on the ball without any backlift, which is an incredible trait for a striker to have. It's what Harry Kane has, the second time me mentioning Harry Kane. He gets shots off very quickly, and that catches keepers out. And if he can just continue how he did for Ipswich last year, take that into a Chelsea top, he will score 20 Premier League goals. I think he's going to explode at Chelsea. Him and Palmer, yeah, I think it's looking a bit scary, to be honest. Very Eden Hazard and Diego Costa vibes, I think. He's got power. He can get involved in the play. He's strong. He's quick. Good touch. Like I said, great finisher. Can get shots off quickly. There's nothing... And he's a bully, which is what Chelsea like. I think this is a perfect move. And I think he scores 20... I'm going to say 22 Premier League goals this season. Let me know which players you're looking forward to watching as well in this Premier League season.